A fashion designer's impact goes beyond the runway. They change the way we look at ourselves and those around us. Video fashion designers chronicles their past successes and follows their evolution into the 21st century.
It's a great pleasure because for me it's a big honor. You know, I love Montreal. They are very nice. So to work with them and to do like a stylism of mixing all my 35 years of clothes, for me it's something like unique.
The Montreal Museum of Fine Arts recently celebrated Paul Gaultier with an exhibition exploring some of the constant themes in his work. It was important to both Gaultier and the museum not to hold a retrospective.
He's still creating, he's very much alive, and I think the best of his work is to come. So to make a retrospective would have been wrong. So the thematic approach and to just show the obsessions and the passions of Jean-Paul Gaultier through the years from 1970 to now.
It's things that I did in different parts of my career and that I work all over the year, always. The sailor part, I did like a lot of sailor. Oh, every year I do one new sailor, you know, like some outfit like trench coat, all that. For me it's important because it's the base that I like. I like to work on it, and I think I have always, I hope, I have always something to say about it and to make it in a new way.
The boudoir is a section where you discover what initiated Gaultier's involvement in the fashion world, how he discovered fashion through the grandmother, and also the inspiration of the corset and the lingerie. So you see all the different corsets, the first corset dress, and also the costumes from the Blond Ambition Tour, the two iconic corsets from Madonna.
Madonna opened up her closet to the museum, lending several of her costumes to the exhibition.
After that, you have all the work on skin. It's called Skin Deep. It was very much influenced by the work of tattoos and the trompe-l'œil of the body, but also to show how we can show skin through clothes. So it's the use of lace, the use of bondage strap, and he included so many different ideas and pieces that were usually meant to be in the sex shops that were included in ready-to-wear.
That is like a striptease, but what is more striptease than to see the bones? It's like a skeleton almost, and only it's under the deep. You know, it's like my spirit, like when I did the first corset dress. You know, it was to put something from inside. You have like underwear, and you put it outside. So here is the underskin you have, which is outside. So it's things about like a flesh, color of flesh, scarification, all that. You know. I love to work on it, and I think there is always new way to show it. It's what I try to propose every year.
You have the punk cancan section, which is very much about the haute couture of Paris, with the opposition of the London punks and the influence of London, because it was very much influenced by London punks and their unique approach to haute couture in a way to customize their own clothes without any money. Urban jungle, it's all the mix of either both the animal world with all the different skins, but also fake skins and the trompe-l'œil pieces like the leopard skin dress that is exhibited that took 1,060 hours to create. But also in this gallery you discover all the mix of the culture, the approach to uniqueness through travel, and even if he made collection about places where he never went, it's places from his imagination. It's a mix of cultures, which is very important to him. In the last section called Metropolis, it's where you discover all the technological aspect of his work with the approach with new fabrics. It's almost like a prophetic vision when you think of his work and all the collaborations he did.
Chez l'homme, il peut y avoir
A highlight of the museum's presentation were the specially crafted mannequins which seemed to come to life. The faces of some of the designer's closest collaborators, including Gaultier's own visage, were projected onto the molded heads.
If you know Jean-Paul Gaultier's world and you see how creative and how alive and fun it is, you know, it would be wrong, I think, to show Gaultier's work only on boring mannequin.
It's so amazing how early he established those codes for the house. You know, you look back and you see pieces and they could be done today. I think that's really fantastic. Nothing looks out of date, not even Madonna's corset.
I think he's one of the few designers who's able to really take bits of the culture that we see as we, you know, go about our daily lives and turn it into something that's really artful. And his ability to stir up a little trouble when he takes those cultural touchstones and puts them on the runway.
It is my clothes, but not exactly in the way I presented at the time. Some are, but it's more like the things that I am, let's say, proud of, and like that are the most in my art important.
One designer known for cooking up sumptuous delectables is Jean-Paul Gaultier. His latest morsel is a new fragrance. It adds to his already well-known banquet of style.
He made me a dress made out of leather to imply condoms, and I was a little Red Cross nurse.
My favorite thing that I own is actually a little Gaultier t-shirt, you know. I think that's how he made his millions, on the t-shirt, you know.
He's so smart and so full of life and interest and enthusiasm and so talented that he's irresistible.
And irresistible Epicurean delights flavored Gaultier's Perfume Bash in New York.
The fragrance, the inspiration is like old smell, smells that when I was a child that I like, you know, like for example, like the powder, my grandmother, she would put some powder on her face and it was smelling very good. And I remember that, so I wanted something like that. I wanted also one fragrance that make people want to eating, you know, the person that wear it. So it's mean like, the person that wear it is very eatable. And the bottle is the shape of a woman, of course, because it's a perfume for women. The can is like a symbol of beauties everywhere, even in some very industrial product. And it's also safe for the fragility of the body. So it's combination of silver and very soft inside, strong outside and soft inside. It's how I am.
Stand by, everybody.
Enter a world 262 years from now.
It's like a big new ride at an amusement park.
It's just insane.
It's different, it's to the edge. How was it?
It's very funny. Voila.
The movie is directed by Luc Besson, whose visually innovative style is unsurpassed.
And action!
Besson collaborated with fellow French master Jean-Paul Gaultier, who designed the costumes.
He's the best. So, you know, I start first to look the best. I say, okay, who's first one on the list? Jean-Paul Gaultier. Jean-Paul?
Jean-Paul personally checked all 900 extras.
I know that it takes time, a lot of time. So I cannot do it a lot of time because I have my collection that I like to do, and I have a lot of collection on couture and etc. A lot of things. So it's only when I am in love. So that was my maybe one of my favorite because it was where I could make more extravagant and like a seductive man.
And the clothes that Luke wanted me to wear It was way, way out. And I was like, hell no, I ain't wearing no dress.
And with that phallic wig. That one is Mila.
I play a mix between a lion cub, a bird, and an Ewok.
Good. So it was like a bandage. So it was in the idea of bandage and purity white. Like a bandage that covers some part of the body, the part that has not to be shown. It was maybe the costume I take more times to go into it because I make proposition different.
Shaved my head again.
And the fact that he has something very strange on the head, you know, like if he had like a brain operation and after he has like a strange, it's missing some hair, but he has only a long mesh here of hair that cover a part of his head to make him a little more frightening, like Corbin.
So the outfit is really here to help the story and help the actor.
And also one thing that was a little complicated, it was that when I make a sketch, I make the sketch, but after when I am doing the fitting, etc., maybe I change, you know. I change because I say, oh, it's better like that, it should be better like that. You know, I change my mind, you know, on the outfit. So at the end, sometimes it's a little different. But look, he wanted exactly the, you know, he wanted like a contract, you know, I want that. I say, okay, for that, it has to be that. But I am the captain. I mean, like I do my collection. It is my collection, it is my direction. When I am doing a movie, I am not the director, so I have to do the story of the director. So I have to go on to match with the story. So it's a kind of challenge and it's very interesting. So it has to be close à la Gaultier, but it has to be also, it's for a movie of Monsieur Besson.
So thank you, Jean-Paul.
Thank you too.
For Jean-Paul Gaultier, the process of haute couture is about the pleasure that comes from working with innovative fabrics, rigorous cuts, and elaborate embellishments.
I think it was very exciting, that collection to do, because like with my mermaid little team, you know, it was quite funny to play with it. It was a pretext, like to find long fabrics, to find like cut, to find some idea around colors and the mother of pearl and everything like that. So it was like good because I have like that idea and I try to do like a sirene, but the mermaid, you know, they are not free. So I try to make them liberate by the fact of after with their legs or like by the short dress, you know, where you see the legs. So I try to do all that, you know.
When 10 years ago he said that he would do couture, I thought personally that was very interesting. And since now he proved, you know, that he really knows what he's doing. And technically there's all the time amazing things. And but however, he proved each time that haute couture, which is not luxurious, ready to wear, it's something different, that haute couture can be still alive and necessary and especially commercial also, because there's some ladies buying these things.
Because a sailor travel, and of course they have some tattoo, and there is some beautiful element tattoo that have color of the water, which are anchor, you know, and that are like with dragoon. So it was like the sirene goes everywhere. There is everywhere. It's not only from Denmark, but also like from Mediterranean, Adriatic, Atlantic, and also like Pacific, and also in China and in Japan. There is from everywhere. Mermaid is on Greece, of course, because it started there.
Usually when they talk about Gaultier, they talk about the jokes, you know, the funny things, or ladies on the runway, or guys with tattoos, or men with dresses, anecdotes, you know. And but they don't see, or they forgot, that he has a very classical past.
At times, Gaultier took the aquatic theme quite literally.
all her outfit was wet. It was the idea of the water, because wet is badly seen, you know, but sometimes it can make beautiful effect on the fabric, and it can be a little more sensual. Even I wanted to show even like a traditional suit, you know, like a costume, very classical. It can become something like very sexy and very something else, you know, to show it in a different way.
I think, you know, he's the definition of what couture could be nowadays, because if not, sometimes it looks a little bit tacky. I mean, it looks from another time, say, haute couture. It's like a movie of the 50s, you know, but never with Gaultier, you know.
I was like in rock and roll, but romantic, you know, like romance and rock. So it was like, you know, like a flower and leather, and also 3D, means 3D by a print that you can see with glasses, 3D because of the shape, the volume of the body, you know. It was all use of plissé, like to give shoulder structure, and at the same time give like comfort and morphology, change the morphology. I remember, like in the late 70s, I went to London and there was some girl that was like quite like with beam boom and tits, and they were with like white skin and red hair, you know, dark rouge à lèvres, dark eyes, black, you know, and black dress, very stretch and very sexy, like that. And I was like, my God, in Paris it's not the same. They don't do like that, you know. It was like truly like they were at the same time sexy, provocative, and beautiful at the same time, and so good in their own skins, you know. Always in my collection, I wanted to show that there is different type of beauty, not one type. It's just like question that is the right. If you feel good in it, you are beautiful. So that is for that, the people to feel beautiful in what they are.
He's a real couturier. He has a great imagination and a great fantasy, and he's a great teller as well, so it's perfect.
I think it was an amazing show. Really amazing one. We're inventing the punk tonight. It's very good, I think.
I thought it was great fun. Fabulous. I mean, you know, only he can make you smile throughout the whole entire show. I love the hair, I love the punk, I love the prints, I love the mixing. My favorite was the stockings pulled all the way up over the blouse, over the breasts. It was so cool, and I've done that before. No. I mean, when you buy a hosiery that's too big for you, I said, look how high I can get these up. And you pull them all the way up to here. He just did it and sent it out the runway. I loved it.
Well, he asked me to do it, and because I think it was all these female punk references, and we had like a lot of the same influences in common, which is really amazing. That's how timeless punk and, you know, like hardcore like women are. Like, I think that he knew that that's what I was really into, and so he asked me to do it. And I still am shocked that I'm here. Honestly, shocked.
I think that truly it's like a kind of elegance. You know, I was inspired by like 60s, 70s, 80s, which I trying to put through like intemporal, you know, with no time, no age.
And sort of all different permutations of the 60s, you know, sort of the ladylike permutation and then also mod.
I think the idea was, sometime I remember when I was a child, it was the little girls that wanted to be like their mother. And now, majority is the mothers that want to be like the little girl. But no, please, you are beautiful as you are, so be a woman. And a lot of young men love the women that are women, and not only the little girl, you know. It's the old men that like the little girl, voilà.
The clothes were quite pretty and sort of uncharacteristic for what we've been seeing from him recently. I mean, there was a lot of sort of 60s Mad Men throwbacks, and you know, some fun things too. Some of the fur trim and the fur grocery carts. But you know, yeah, it was a fun collection, and I think I called it elder chic. So maybe he'll start a revolution.
Lovely performance. It's a lovely warm feeling. It doesn't have the same feeling as the other shows. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more light-hearted. This is a much older crowd as well. It's a lot more sort of respective. It's a really nice place to be.
I try to show also like clothes, like a striptease, but which no ending striptease, because no skin, no corset, no cellar marinière. At the end, the idea was to show like what have their base, their skin, their second skin, which was like a jumpsuit, like a bodysuit, you know, that is like all printed, all sequin, black sequin, all brochet, you know. So that was a little that idea of a long one-piece outfit. She's a comic, a French comic. Her name is Valérie Lemercier, and she's quite clever and very talented. And she has like a kind of sense of sarcastic and humoristic about everything she sees and all the roles she plays. She did better than the model. So only I wanted like to see a different thing, but to play with my classic.